I'm Dr. David Beaulieu, and I'm here today, hopefully, to give you some news you can use. There's a fellow by the name of Bruce Lipton. He's a PhD. Uh, he's a biologist, and he's really into quantum mechanics and physics. He believes that 98% of all illness is environmental. 98% of all illness is environmental? While a mere 2% of disease can be traced to genetic disposition? Wow. Working as a stem cell researcher at Stanford University. Now that's that big, huge university on the West Coast that thinks it's Harvard. Okay? In most people's mind, a pretty doggone fine university. All right? Working at Stanford University, Lipton uncovered a startling truth. Our genetic composition has very little influence on health. I better say that again. He discovered that our genetic composition has very little influence on health, whereas the impact of chemistry within the body is far-reaching. Our cells respond to environment, not a predetermined genetic code. And we know that today. The real advanced areas in medicine are not dealing with genetics. They're dealing with an area called epigenetics. And that's what talks to our genes, what turns our genes on and off. And that's really what this is all about. During an interview on Green Med TV, Lipton explored the ramifications of his discovery that genetically identical stem cells, those are the cells that can produce any of the tissues in our body. They have all kinds of potential. A stem cell can become a brain cell, a liver cell, a kidney cell, and we used to think that they were programmed genetically. They're not. They behave differently when placed in varying petri dish environments. Some would develop into bone cells, others muscle. It all depended on the specific chemical environment, not the genetic code. He began to question how this related to the human body and its 50 trillion cells. Lipton applied his findings to the environment of the body, namely how human chemistry is influenced. He found that the subconscious mind, which controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, beliefs, and emotions, is running the chemistry show. When we have a thought or perception, it sets off a change of chemical reactions within the body. If the thought is positive, it will foster a favorable chemical environment leading to radiant mental states, along with harmonious bodily processes. Yet if the thought is negative, stressful, or fear-based, biochemicals flood the system with a message of disease and disharmony, essentially shutting down immunity and proper functioning. This creates a serious dilemma because most of our thoughts are unconscious and rooted in programming we adopted during early childhood. What is he saying here? That our thoughts are powerful things that turn our genetics on and off, that turn our genes on and off? Wow. According to Lipton, from birth until 6, there is very little conscious thought. Whoa. Until we're about 6 years old, there's very little conscious thought. We're simply soaking up everything around us, which in turn shapes the way we think. Unfortunately, most of us take in beliefs based on negative thinking, a sense of lack and competition. As adults, these negative programs not only manifest as ill health, but also financial hardship, mental unease, and other life challenges. Wow. The secret is to tune into our programmed habits, and this requires becoming mindful of the thoughts swimming around in our heads. Have you ever just laid in bed at night and paid attention to the thoughts popping in and out of your consciousness? Have you ever wondered who was thinking that? Because it wasn't you. Who's the thinker of those thoughts? Is there a thinker of thoughts inside you that you're not aware of? Is the subconscious this powerful that according to Lipton, you know, we're talking about 98% of all illness is environmental. He says our subconscious mind controls 95% of our thoughts and actions. Wow. Is there anything to back that up? Well, how about Gray's Anatomy? Now, that's used by every major medical, chiropractic, and dental school in the United States. And a quote from Gray's Anatomy to describe the nervous system says, the nervous system controls and coordinates every organ and structure in the body and relates it to its environment. The only thing that doesn't include is advanced reason and advanced will. The subconscious, that innate intelligence within us, does everything else. Everything else. Now that's amazing. Have we known this? Have we known this? Carl Jung, one of the great minds behind psychiatry, contemporary of Freud, said, until you make the unconscious conscious, you'll get what you get, and call it fate. And one of the most important things you can do from a healthcare delivery standpoint is learn to entangle with a patient's subconscious and get information directly from a patient's subconscious. First of all, about what's wrong. Second, about what it takes to fix it. And third, about what is the exact dosage that is needed in each case for each individual patient. Once you've learned about neuromuscular biofeedback, which directly communicates with each patient's subconscious to get exact information on what's needed, why would you want to do it any other way?